Hi yogis, welcome back. This discussion is about Hatha yoga. Hatha yoga is certainly a central part of this yoga teacher training, and it's the alternately referred to as forceful yoga. It builds physical strength and physical tenacity to stick with something challenging. So there's two reasons to practice Hatha yoga. First of all, it avoids the confusion of going into the mind. All of the other realms of yoga, the other parts of the other cogs in the wheel, spokes in the wheel, a lot of them have to do with deep introspection, and that can be confusing and overwhelming for the best of us. So Hatha yoga is this forceful physical practice that avoids that confusion, and it's a simpler technology to embody and practice yoga. And then the second reason for practicing Hatha yoga is to prepare you for the rigors of transcendence. So when you're ready to delve into the confusion of the mind and to seek that love and light within your heart, this physical practice will prepare your body for that rigorous process of transcendence. It is a mystical state of being, embodying love and light. It has profound implications on your nervous system and on all your bodily systems. So Hatha yoga the idea is that it will prepare you for that. As you practice Hatha yoga, tread cautiously. It's really easy to get caught up into body-centered ego, to get caught up with your ego, and to get caught up admiring yourself doing the poses of Hatha yoga, particularly when you're watching yourself on a video. So be really cautious. Don't inadvertently overinflate your ego on your way to transcendence. Like I said, the first reason to practice Hatha yoga is to avoid it's more like a first step before you dive into the confusion of transcendence. The poses, they're a handy way to represent yoga, but they're certainly not at the center of yoga. For this practice of Hatha yoga, we will do so many, and you can do as many interpretations of the physical poses as you like. For this one, I'm going to adapt Sharon Gannon's the Jivamukti Magic 10. It's 10 poses, 10 breaths each, and the idea is that it's simple, available to you, and available for you to teach to any of your students. So this is from Sharon Gannon of the Jivamukti lineage. It's the Magic 10. Start in down dog. Grab your pet, your Shavasana pet. So press down into both hands and feet equally. Take 10 breaths. Walk your hands and feet to meet in the middle of the mat. Uttanasana, forward fold. Many options here. Your hands are planted firmly on the mat if you can reach, or your hands can be on your shins. Just something to find some leverage as you press down. So contact with something. Hands and feet firmly connected with something. 10 breaths here. If you would like to add a little bit of movement, you can come into Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift and lengthen, and then exhale and fold forward. And do that 3 more times. Halfway lift, breathe in, exhale and fold forward. 1 more, halfway lift, breathe in, exhale. Next pose is a squat, knees wide, feet wide, hands pressed together at heart center. Bring your thumbs right in line with your sternum. Press down into your heels, lengthen your spine, soften your forehead and your jaw. Breathe deeply here. Come to sit down, feet flat on the mat. Extend your legs out in front of you. First, draw a line underneath your knees and then bring your feet right to where that imaginary line was. Press your knees and feet together. Squeeze your knees with your hands. Lengthen your spine. Take a breath in. TP twist, so your right arm wraps around your knees, left fingertips behind you. Turn and gaze over your left shoulder. 5 breaths each side. Come back to center, de-rotate to your right, and then other side. So start by sitting up tall, take a breath in, left arm around your knees, right fingertips behind you, TP twist over your right shoulder. De-rotate to your left, sit up tall, breath in. Next one, Ardha Matsyendrasana. Extend both your legs and then bend your right knee. Cross your right knee over top of your left. Twist over your right shoulder. To de-rotate, reach both your hands up to the ceiling, lengthen your spine, switch your legs, cross your left leg over top of your right, and then Ardha Matsyendrasana, half Lord of the Fishes, over your left shoulder. Chin is parallel to the mat, and your eyes turned all the way to the outside corner of your eye socket, so to the left corner of your eye sockets. With each breath in, sit up a little bit taller, and with each breath out, twist a little bit deeper. Come back to center, reach your hands up to the ceiling. Inhale, feet are strongly pressed away from you, fingertips reaching up towards the ceiling. Tabletop, fingertips about palms about 1 hand length behind your hips, fingertips pointing towards your feet. Bend your knees, feet flat on the mat, feet hip width apart, and lift up and into tabletop. 5 breaths here. Lift your hips as high as you can. Look up towards the ceiling. Lift your hips a little bit higher, breathe in, and then exhale and lower down. I meant to tell you to set your mat up next to the wall. The next one is handstand practice or handstand prep. So it's against the wall for this warm-up. Set yourself up one hand length away from the wall. Plant your feet on the mat. Kick yourself up to handstand. So you're either doing handstand prep or you're kicking right up and into your handstand. Stay here. So we'll start with 5 breaths here. Point your toes. Start to practice moving your feet away from the wall. And then come down. Come back to downward facing dog. From here, walk your feet and your hands to the middle of the mat. And then roll one vertebrae at a time. Come up to standing. Into standing side bends. Reach your hands up to the ceiling. Side bend to the right. Hold your left wrist with your right hand. And we'll go back and forth. So reaching up, switching hands to the left. Inhale, center. Right, feet are hip width apart, squarely planted down on the mat. And you're just looking towards your hands. One more time each side. And then hold for 2 breaths on each side. So hold for 2 breaths to the right. And back to center, and then 2 breaths over to the left. Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward and up. Inhale. Hands together at heart center. Exhale. Namaste, yogis. Thank you for practicing with me.